And as a first question, because we have some questions already in the chat, but well, I know the program is good because I know your team. But the question is, it will be, what do you think? It will be like implemented efficiently, or there might be some problem with implementation? Because we all know that there are some good papers, but quite often they land in the shelf. So that's my main point to ask at the moment.
Okay, so maybe change language to Polish. It will be easier for me. I think that it will be easier for Polish participants.
Fine.
Więc
well, to give you an answer, in fact, I was trying to tackle this question in my presentation because I focused on those parts that have to do with implementation. Yes, we do understand that while the program may be very good, but then having seen the reaction to Mateusz's presentation and how well society understands rivers, well, rivers or surface waters in general. So based on that, I think that things may be really difficult trying to implement the program on such a wide scale. And that's why it's really important to have additional measures which are designed to support the program. I would say educational programs addressed to water administration and to the public at large. I suppose having those educational activities is an important aspect of it all, but it's not just that. There should be a wide range of support instruments with what we call environmental aid paid to farmers, where the farmers would see the real benefits from their land being flooded by the river nearby. I think it's going to be a huge effort. Well, apologies, I keep quoting Łukasz's presentation, but that's because I embrace that. And I agree that approach to water management really goes beyond our fields, whether we are water engineers or ecologists. I think it goes beyond that. In fact, it's more about social and public matters. So what we need is a holistic approach and holistic support as well. I hope things are going well with the translation for our foreign participants, but I don't see anything to the contrary, so I'm assuming that things are going well with the interpretation. The next question is from Joanna Wąs. Would you like to ask your question in Polish? Yes, hello everyone. I would like to know how realistic is the implementation of the program in the context of drought protection? I think that there may be some conflicting ideas there between the two different programs. So that's my question. What would be the legal use of this program? I mean, how strong, how powerful the program is?
Well, first of all, I have to explain it to you. The most fundamental thing, we responsible for the plan who was submitted to the Polish waters. We take no longer responsibility for that, but still we do feel responsible for the very making of the program. And this program now is in the hands of the Polish waters, and it's the Polish waters course, is in charge of the program. And the documentation we've submitted, it's the draft of the program. This is the status of it. And we were talking to the Polish Waters at the end of our project, and we asked them, well, we wanted to know what might happen to the program in the future. And there, we did not receive any clear answer. Apart from the basic statement that the program will be subject to analysis under the ongoing works on updating, yet another updating of the water management plan. And it should be, well, but I don't know what they will do about it. But you ask a question to which we all keep asking about the strength of the program. Well, I believe that the program itself, it requires support from many directions, so to make it more solid. And I don't know, maybe not everybody's aware that the program, as well as the manual of good practices, these are two measures which were covered in the measure program, and they are in the lowest position there. We had the very beginning of some actions towards focusing to improve hydromorphology. As until now, the measures under the plan, they were about improving quality of water. But these were the two documents which were meant to change the approach. But what's going to happen? Well, listening to Mateusz, we could, well, it's difficult to imagine that the process will be rapid. But I just want to underline that the Polish Waters, they have a variety of documents, and the role is very wide. They plan investments and also they plan protection. So it would be difficult for them to find the golden rule. But the strength of the program needs to be developed with meetings like this one, I believe, like the River University. Thank you. Do you have more questions? You may write to our lecture as well. Łukasz?
Szumisz, ale cię słychać.
We can hear you very poorly. Well, my question is whether you plan to enhance the programming activities. And apart from the meeting is this one, which is really great. Do you try to educate authorities or local governments, for example, Is it a question to me? We, Multiconsult Poland, we have won in a competition this program, to make the program. And in our activities are mainly targeted at consulting, wider consulting. If the need shall be for an education activity in any scope, obviously, we are capable to provide this kind of service, but you have to be aware that it's not only in the Polish waters. We have this high need for training, but they have no money to pay for it. And the same goes for municipalities, local government. So making an education curriculum, well, that's really great. Goes without saying. Mateusz can write it. We may act together, but we need to get funding for that. It should not be for free. We should get funding. And here the question goes, as the funds should be applied for by Wody Polskie, the Polish waters. And it would be important to have the social voice to support the Polish waters. I believe they are open to that kind of cooperation and to education. And we, as a consulting company, of course, will happily do that. Thank you. We still have time for one, maybe two questions, if there is anybody. Artur Kurtyna. Hello. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to listen to this interesting presentation, which shows a lot of work that has been done. And now my question is, however, it's more to the Polish water and not to the program authors. But do you have any knowledge, as there have been several pilot papers which should be implemented really quickly as demo sites, which would enable understanding of the practical side of some solutions in the restoration. Do you have any knowledge whether any of these pilots is now in the pipeline? Ilona, do you know anything about it? Thank you for your nice words. You have contributed a lot to the work. You've been one of the main authors of the plan, but I know that your work was mainly in the field. You've supported us a lot. But answering your question now on the priority areas. Whether the Polish waters have done anything, I can't tell. There might have been some initiatives of your association, but I will also know that some steps have been taken. And I know that the Polish waters, that they are thinking in this direction. However, I do hope, as in the very beginning, when we were joining the project, when we were talking to the Polish waters, well, the assumption was that the project is to identify the priority areas which would be implemented to the next updating of the management plans, and there would be funding for that. But what we've done in our team, and we really had great cooperation with Polish Waters, well, we have developed a program of measures, not just for the priority areas, but for all areas which would require restoration, and the implementation would be wider for sure. But this performance of it, we needed a lot. And we talk a lot about it, because when we look at the scale of the needs, a lot of measures should be implemented, because we see a lot of issues in different parts of Poland. Well, it should give us the basis for the program to be delivered across Poland. But I had no detailed information. I believe that Polish waters have received the program in a way which would guarantee for applying for funding for the plan. And this is how the analysis has been developed for the priority areas. These are separate reports for each case, so case by case. I showed you what kind of analysis have been delivered, and these are ready documents which may be used to apply for funds. So now everything is in the hands of the Polish waters or other groups. Yes, of course. So thank you very much. Thank you for your answer. Well, we may keep asking questions for during the final discussion. Thank you, Ilona.